I'm Deanna Springer, live at the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show with insights to this year's event. I'm standing in the vendor mall, and we are joined by Katrina Sparkman, and we are in the Creators Cottage booth.
Yes, thank you for having us. We're excited to be here.
So tell us what the Creators Cottage is.
So the Creators Cottage is a maker space for artists and writers. We have a fully equipped fiber art studio space. We have a writer's cafe. So every day that our writers are there, our members can come. There's always going to be a tea of the day because we have an on-site apothecary. And there's always going to be a writing prompt of the day. So they can plug in their laptops and sit and write. So we have the writer's cafe. And we also even have overnight retreat accommodation for visiting artists.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How did it all get started?
Oh man, this is something, I think this has been in the works for a very long time. I've been an artist in this city for over 25 years, and there's so many just that's a continual need. Women artists, particularly women artists of color, saying, we need spaces where we can gather, where we can create, where we can let our hair down, where we can just be our creative, beautiful selves, So the opportunity came along, and it says, okay, let's do it.
You're full of great ideas, Katrina. You talked about you live in the city. We're talking about the city of Madison.
That's right.
And that's where we recorded Sewing with Nancy.
Yes.
With PBS Wisconsin. And you were a guest on Nancy's Corner with Nancy talking about Black Threads.
That's right. In 2015, we started a group called Black Threads, and it was an amazing group of 7 women who were all artists, all African American, all artists, and I think maybe one was a fiber artist, but everyone else were, we had a songwriter, we had a poet, we had a genealogist, we had an international painter, and nobody quilted. And I said, we're going to get together and we're going to make a modern day quilting bee. And they said, Katrina, we don't quilt. I'm like, it'll be fine. So we did. We met for a year. We told these wonderful family stories, and we created these quilts. And we turned it into a theatrical exhibition called The Stock I Come From.
Incredible. And how many years ago was that?
Oh my gosh. Well, that was 2015, and where are we right now?
2024.
Yeah,
that's 10 years ago.
10 years.
Sure. And you brought a special exhibit along with you to the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show.
Yes.
Your Black Threads quilt exhibit is here.
It is here, yes. The gang is getting back together again, and they're very excited about it.
Wonderful. So let's talk more about what's in your booth. What offerings do you have in your booth today?
Sure. So everything you see here in this booth is these are all things that have been made by artists at the Creators Cottage. So we have these handmade rugs here. These rugs are all made from recycled materials. All of the quilts you see here are made by our own artists. And this spring, we launched our own printing press at the cottage. And so all of these journals and the books, those are all made and bound on our new printing press.
What a wide selection of gifts and quilts and woven rugs. These are recycled T-shirts and sweatshirts.
Yes.
And they're really heavy duty. I could see the family pet really loving this too.
Oh my gosh.
It's a beautiful rug by the kitchen sink too.
It is. It's like a massage for your feet.
It is. It's very tactile. Quilters are very tactile, and so I don't mind handling the rugs, and they're all for sale. For sale. You can buy these at the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show the Creators Cottage booth. Your booth number 631. And let's talk about the quilts behind you.
So the quilts behind us, we're calling these our legacy quilts, and this is part of our program. So we have a lot of programs happening at the cottage, as you could probably imagine. But one of our programs is the Memory Collector Storytelling Project, Fighting Alzheimer's with Art. And this is our health equity program. It's totally free for all of our participants in the program. And this is our program, we say, this is our program for grown women. So ages 50 and up are welcome. We do have some younger women. We call them the under 40s.
Okay,
and they do all of our
I love it.
They do all of our technical stuff for us.
Perfect.
But anyway, as part of a fundraiser for this program, because it is our program that's totally free for our participants, we have these beautiful legacy quilts that one of our members, who is also an amazing painter, Alicia Real, and she's the one that's in this particular
In the center?
in the center.
Okay.
She has teamed up with each of the women in the collective to create these portraits with fabric that is very meaningful to them. So all of the fabric that is chosen here is meaningful to that particular woman. So people have things that belong to their parents, or for instance, Alicia's quilt, the gingham those were the curtains in her childhood home.
Oh.
You know, I think Miss Edith has some fabric from her mother's, one of her mother's favorite dresses.
Woven together.
Yeah.
And there's a story below the portrait as well.
Uh-huh.
Each quilt has a little story.
Yeah, so what's important to her, it's her grandchildren. And so she has all of her grandchildren's initials on there, and then she's got a beautiful poem about her grandchildren in there. So,
Amazing. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Katrina, I appreciate everything you're doing
Mm-hmm.
and all that the Creators Cottage is doing, and makers want to make, and you're bringing it all together. So
Mm-hmm.
we appreciate you being at the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show and sharing all of this with our attendees.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're so very welcome. And thank you for tuning in. And to learn more about this year's event and next year's event, head over to quiltshow.com.